the karmic DM.
What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video, and this time we're going to take a look at the aftermath of the new Ariana Grande album. I started with taking a look at how did Dalton cheat once and for all. I'm gonna try to remember to link the older videos I've done of them, but once and for all, did Dalton cheat? Like, is that who she's talking about on the CD? I also looked into why did she feel the need to tell everyone not to attack anybody, aka Dalton. And then I finished this up. This is a 3-part reading, y'all, where I looked at how Dalton felt about the CD and just kind of where he's at now. Just wrap it up in a little bow, because I know you guys love knowing where Dalton's at. And honestly, Dalton, call me. No, just kidding. Kind of. I mean, he's definitely energy, good energy for me anyway. But as always, these readings are alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. No facts here, just psychic, intuitive nudges from floating hands on the internet. But as always, you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, just letting you know that I have about a week and a half to 2 weeks, 7 to 10 day wait. So the sooner you reach out, the better. In order to reach out, that would be Facebook, Instagram, or my email, all in the description box below. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. What is up to my regulars? What is up, besties? I love y'all so much. I'm rooting for you guys. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful beginning of your year, as April is the beginning of the astrological new year. So I'm hoping for bigger and better for everybody, as always. But without further ado, I wasn't shocked by this reading, but it was interesting to see the aftermath of how the CD unfolded and to see where Ariana and Dalton both are right now since the launch of the CD. It feels like, or album, my apologies, my millennial showing. It just seems like they've kind of changed tunes a little bit. But without further ado, this is all legend and for entertainment purposes only, besties. But let's get into it. All right, besties. So we are going to take a look at once and for all, and I feel like I've already read into this, but you know, I'll try to link all my Ariana readings below. Did Dalton allegedly, in fact, cheat on Ari? Was that the demise of their relationship? Let's find out for alleged entertainment purposes only. What was the real cause? I mean, I've looked into this already, but let's see. Did he really cheat? Did he cheat? I'm hearing the song by Meghan Trainor, My Name Is No, My Sign Is No. And then I'm seeing the Uno card that says Uno reverse, which again is giving me the vibe of he didn't cheat, she did. But again, I remember reading into that where it was like gray area. So let's see the breakdown of their relationship. Okay. Well, I can tell you that they started to stop communicating. Like there was, you know what I'm being drawn to is, didn't they start dating around the time that lockdown happened? Because I'm seeing like picture perfect. Yeah, because I'm hearing Family Portrait by Pink, and it's like picture perfect relationship. But then, remember, he was the type that really didn't like the public and everything like that. So because I'm hearing like biting my tongue. So I feel like once the world started to open back up, Dalton kind of got like they both kind of had a come to Jesus moment where it was like, what I'm seeing is like isolation. And like, so did they probably spend a lot of time together during the lockdown? I would assume so. Because it feels like we're in a little bubble. Because I'm seeing like science and how they like, as much as I'm against this, it's what I'm being shown, like rats being tested on. It's like you're in a little bubble, so you don't have the outside external world messing with you. And so I feel like the beginning of the end was when the lockdown let up. Because then it was like Ari was chasing her dreams again, Dalton was working, and it wasn't that, because he, like I've said many readings before, he wants that white picket fence. He wants the, you know, American dream that we can no longer afford. Thank you, America. But anyway, it's just giving me this vibe of like things started to shift when the world opened back up. And then we stopped being as connected as we used to be. Communication fizzled out. We weren't being heard. Like, I'm saying one thing, you're taking it a different way. You're getting triggered, I'm getting triggered, we're both getting triggered. I'm shutting down, you're shutting down. A lot of mirroring. Yeah, a lot of like I definitely think there was work talks for sure. Cause I know that when like they released a statement or whatever, that they said something about like schedules being a problem. The moment I said that, I heard Ari's song Yes and I swear to God I'm gonna hear that song forever now, because like that's a really good way to explain things, is like, yeah, it's a little more complicated. I think they had a lot of fights about her job. You're working too much. When is enough enough? When do I have time with you? You're working this job and then you got a party to go to. You're working that job and then you got the after show to go to. Like, when do you have time for me? I think Dalton started to get a little bit jealous of her career. Yeah, I'm hearing Jealous by Labyrinth. And it's kind of giving me this vibe of like, when will you be happy enough? Because I think that he sees her and he's like, you're a superstar. You don't even act like a superstar, but you're chasing and you're climbing. But do you even know where you're chasing and climbing off to? Dalton is like, for Leo, he's a very grounded energy. It's like he was so good for her because it's like he could bring her back down to reality. But in her mind, she saw that as a threat. Like, oh, you don't want women like growing in power. You're triggered by me because I'm a strong, independent woman. And it's like, no, there's a clash of communication here, because y'all started off being immersed in each other and a little less work because of a lockdown. So it's kind of like being stranded on an island. Like, for instance, Spirit's showing me like the TV rom-coms that I really do love that are real. Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, stuff like that. I don't really like The Ultimatum actually, but the point is like, it's not realistic, because once you leave Love is Blind, you got your real family, your real job, your real other friends, your real everything. And I feel like I'm seeing the rug being ripped out from under Dalton. It's like, this is not what I signed up for. But I don't think either of them were really thinking that far ahead, because I'm being reminded of like how I felt when the lockdown came, and it was like, dude, tomorrow really does not feel promised. So I feel like that's the headspace that they were in as well. So they were just taking advantage of what they had when they had it. But it's like, once work came into the play, that's when fights started to escalate. That's when we're not hearing each other because we're not listening to understand one another. We're like waiting for the other one to stop talking so that we can defend ourselves. So we're getting nowhere because no one's actually trying to compromise. We're just trying to yell at each other why we're valid. But the problem is like, they're both kind of valid, but I'm seeing like the fall down of their relationship in this. Yeah, it's like, when is enough work enough? Like, why can't you make time for me? Why does it always have to be? You know, I find it ironic because I'm being drawn to the statement. I saw it on, I don't know, I watched so many damn videos. Something about how, am I getting this right? Where Dalton wouldn't go to something, like he was too busy because he was working. That feels like a gotcha to me. Because I'm hearing How Do You Like Me Now from Toby Keith. I listen, as a Leo that's really worked on the unevolved parts of myself, I've done some petty shit where I'm like, oh, give you a taste of your own medicine. I don't even got to be mean to you. I just got to do to you what you told me that it was totally okay. So I feel like Dalton started getting petty, which, whatever. They're both petty people, like, especially celebrities. We know Ari's petty. Everybody's celebrityhood is petty. Celebrityhood. That should be a new statement, not Hollywood, celebrityhood. But anyway, I think that he put himself into his work to avoid the relationship falling apart. I think she put herself into her work to ignore the relationship falling apart, which is the very thing they didn't need to be doing, but it's what they do. Social media. Okay, now I'm seeing like Dalton turning a corner and being like, you only care about the fans. I feel like he had this moment where it was like the rose-colored glasses, whatever they call it, spirit rose-tinted glasses, they fell off for him because it was like with that Page of Wands that's giving me Ari, it's like, you're childish and you only care about social media and you only care about your fandom and you only care about growing and you only care about your passions, but you sleep on things that matter. Like, I feel the problem that I see that's happening is that the demise of the relationship had a lot to do with not being able to meet in the middle. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, Why Don't You Just Meet Me in the Middle? And I feel like it was more Ari because I think she had way more wiggle room. I mean, she's what, like a million billionaire? And Dalton was just like, I'm hearing, I don't want to steal your freedom. I just want to take your time. If you guys don't know that song, it's a really good song. It's country though. So you need an eclectic taste of music. But anyway, I think she thought that it was like, you're trying to control me. Yeah, because I'm hearing Miley Cyrus, I can't be tamed. And he was like, I just want to spend time with you. Like, you're just trying to tour everything. All you want is stardom, fame, this, that. All I want is a night on the couch with you. All I want. See, here's the thing. I'm not defending him. We haven't even gotten to anything cheating related, though. I'm not seeing it yet. Leos, they really need a lot of validation. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of us, even the evolved ones, like, I need words of affirmation. If you're not gonna say nice things to me, we're probably not gonna get along. Like, I just need it. It's something I need. We all need something, right? And I feel like their love languages were completely different. I feel like the way they communicated were both not healthy. And so they're not understanding each other. So once the world opened back up, it was like everybody's taking everything as a slight, but it's really, I don't think they fully experienced life outside, because they keep showing me the show Love is Blind, because that show I really do love. And I always said, like, I don't, as someone who's spiritual, who believes in soulmates, the odds of you meeting your soulmate on Love is Blind is damn near impossible. If anything, you might meet a karmic that might teach you something. But it's given me that same vibe of like, what did you expect? You were in like a little bubble, and then the bubble popped, and now you're back in reality, and everybody's pissed, but you started on a facade. Does that make sense? How this relationship started would have never been, like, imagine you met someone on vacation, right? And you're on vacation for a month, gorgeous place. That person also on vacation, you're bonding, you're having your dream life, right? But then reality comes back into play. You got to go back home. They got to go back home. You got work. They got work. And now you got to figure out all the semantics. And now the relationship requires actual work. I don't think either of them expected work to coincide with a relationship. And if any of you have been in a relationship, that comes with it. It's a plant. It's like a plant. You got to make it grow. So I think they both came into this with a sense of delusion looking back at it. And I think the only reason I can pick this up now is I think that Dalton has really processed a lot of this, where it's like, where did it go wrong? How did we go from loving each other to falling apart? Like, I think I see Dalton just like going over his head. Like, how did we get here? Yeah. I'm hearing the song, How Did You Get Here? Nobody's supposed to be here, but just the how did you get here part. So I think Dalton's really in a reflective state, or at least he was at this period. Yeah, he felt like he was stuck. He felt like, I don't actually get a say. I feel like he felt emasculated because it's like, Ari, I'm trying to reason with you and you're not hearing me. And now I feel trapped because my needs aren't getting met. And every time I tell you what my needs are, you take that as a personal slight. And it's not a personal slight. Things have changed, so we need to change too. And she was not willing to change. It's funny because he's the Leo, which is a fixed sign, and she's a Cancer, which is not a fixed sign. Yet I feel like she's so much more stubborn than he was, because it's just like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, is this all, or are we just friends? Is this how it ends? I feel like Dalton didn't want to let go, but I think at the same time he was battling like, you're being childish, you're being selfish, you're not willing to meet me halfway, and he felt trapped and emasculated. Yeah, again with the money, it's like you death grip money, but you don't death grip the things that matter to you. You're always worried about where the next big tour is going to come from. You're always wondering where the next album drop. You're like, Dalton just didn't get it. And honestly, I mean, like I've seen with all these celebrity couples, and we've been seeing it, they're chasing something outside of themselves, so they're never going to be fulfilled. But I do also think that they're very, very different. And now that I'm seeing a bigger picture, it's like, I don't think that this was ever meant to last. If anything, I think Ari was supposed to meet somebody who could show her what love is supposed to look like, so that she could, one, see where she sabotages, and two, 11:11 on the clock when I said that, and two, realize that love is real, because I think she has a tendency of, well, I think we all see it, where she romanticizes things, but I don't think she believes that the love that she wants is real, and so she tries to make people into what she believes. It's like I see her projecting like her song Thank You Next, where it's like, God forbid something happens, Lisa's song's a smash. But it's like, she always had this dream, I'm going to get married, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's not about who that person is. It's about fitting the mold of my dream. And that's the problem. And I think Dalton started to realize that too. It's like, you care more about the semantics of like stardom, fame, albums, #1 sales, but you don't really care about the connections involved. It's giving me that vibe of like, and I say this to a lot of my clients, when you're on your deathbed, no one's thinking about like, oh, I wish I got that convertible. I wish I bought that giant mansion. No one's doing that. They're all like, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish that I got over my ego and told that person I love them. I wish that I, wasted less time on feeling sorry for myself, put more time into the things that really matter. You know what I mean? And I feel like Dalton was trying to get that through to Ari, that like, dude, money's not buying you happiness. Look, like, And Ari just fucking took that as a slight. Yeah, I think this is when they began to break up because listen, I've seen this every time. It feels like, because I'm being drawn to the scene from Friends where it's like, we were on a break. I feel very strongly that this was a gray area. I feel like they either had a fight or they had a conversation where it was like, let's take a break from each other. And then Ari started to go to Ethan as like a support animal. And then Dalton started to realize that Ari was slipping away even further. And it was just like, this is what it is. So again, I should have had a cheating card by now. I'm just saying. We asked if he cheated. Yeah, it's like everything's falling apart and I want so badly for it to work. Dalton wanted this to work. You're not going to sit here and tell me that he was this cheating, womanizing. I'm not seeing it. I would tell you. Why would I lie? Like, I don't benefit from that. I'm stuck. I don't want this to fall apart. How do we work together? You're so focused on your career. This is the fight that ended their relationship. So this is where it's confusing for me because it's like, it feels like a separation, a gray area. Like I'm being drawn to all the gray. Look at all this gray. It's like I just keep hearing Ross on Friends. We were on a break, but it doesn't feel like it's coming from Dalton. It feels like it's coming from Ari. So what else, Spirit? New beginnings. Okay. Who's the new beginnings for? Biding out time. King of Swords. Trying to be methodical. Why? Trying to make it work with you. Dalton felt like he could not win. This was a battle of egos. Look at the two swords here. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Look at how she's focused on the future here. This is very loud to me because these are counterparts, right? King and Queen of Swords, same sides. He's looking to the future. She's looking to the future too, but she's got her back to him. So he's looking ahead about like, what can we do about today? What can we do about the future? She's like, thank you, next. Like, that's the vibe of this. Like, look, like in the second card where she always reminds me of the Queen of Wands because that long freaking ponytail, she just reminds me of Queen of Wands. But look at how it's like, I've removed my energy from you. Because wands are all about energy. She's in the reverse. It's like, I'm done. I think that she pulled out of this relationship before he did. You know what it's giving me? It's giving me the vibe of like, I'm going to get you before you get me. That's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling here. Where it's like I'm in Ari's energy, right? And it's like, why are you up my ass? Why can't you just support me? Why can't you support my dreams? Now we're finally out of this lockdown. Now I can start to build back my career. I need to start, like, I think the lockdown made her feel like she wasn't successful anymore. I'm sure a lot of celebrities felt that way when you're, built on productivity equaling self-worth like that. But I think for her, it was like, I need to build my legacy back up. And if you don't support me, here's the door. I think that they had a fight. And I think that, yeah, because I see like slam doors and yelling and stuff like that. And I think that Dalton was just done. You're not going to convince me that he cheated. I don't see it. There's nothing here about cheating. 7 of Swords should have came up. Threes. The only 3 I got was a work card. And that was clearly about them fighting about work. So again, I asked, did Dalton cheat? And I'm getting the story of their breakdown. And I don't see nothing about cheating. The closest I can get to it is we were on a break, and that's coming from Ari's side. Yeah, I feel like he already threw in the towel before. Because I know that he dated someone shortly after. When I did their most recent reading, she didn't even come up. So you're not going to tell me that that's a real relationship. If anything, it's like it's probably, just sex or whatever. Something to... yeah, because I'm hearing that saying the best way to get over someone is to get over another or get under another, which, by the way, is not true at all. But that's kind of the vibe. So I think whoever he's with now, if he's still with that chick, I think it was more like a Band-Aid, kind of like the way Ethan is. But Ari just she has this dream fantasy and she will put it and make anyone fit. And that's the problem. Not everybody's going to fit your fantasy. And frankly, the more you nitpick what your fantasy is supposed to be, the more likely you are to not fit whoever it is that's actually meant for you because you're being too nitpicky. Like people, for instance, like women, I'm sorry, I don't care if this hurts your feelings because it's you, rethink. Women that on, like, for instance, Tinder, not that you'll find anyone solid there, but women that are like, I refuse to date men that are under 6 feet. What are you doing to yourself? Your dream man might be 5'9" and you're 5'2" anyway. So shut up. You know what I mean? Like Ari's got this weird, like, this man needs to be, arm candy. He's got to want to be in the spotlight, in the limelight, which is funny because I think the original appeal was that he didn't care about the spotlight. But when she wanted it back so badly, he was like, this is not what I signed up for. But again, she lives in fantasy. It's like, this is what I want. This is what I expect. You need to fit it. Don't break my fantasy, because if you break my fantasy, you break me. You break my reality, which is a problem. And I feel like Ari lives a lot in her head to survive. Honestly, I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but if you guys want me to do a deep dive on Ari, like I've done with Justin, and I'm supposed to do a Taylor, then let me know in the comments and I'll add that to my list. But I haven't gotten to the Taylor one yet. But I do think with the way she behaves and the fact that she was in the industry as a child, there's got to be a reason that she does this stuff like Taylor, because he walked away. You're not going to convince... I mean, 8 of Cups, that's leaving. 8 of Cups. Okay. There's... No. Bullshit. I'm sorry. You know. Because this was Ethan. This was, yeah, Ethan. Tongue Freudian slip. Ironically, the King of Swords was not Ethan. Dalton decides to walk away. I really feel like he said something like, I think that we should take a break, or I think that we should just, focus on ourselves right now. Maybe it was kind of gray. I could say that much. Maybe it was a little bit gray before they actually decided to separate. It feels like, but again, this King of Cups, I know it's a water sign, but this feels like Ethan, because then it's like Dalton walks away and Ethan slides right in. And we know that Ariana trauma dumps on people. Sorry, but it's true. And again, remember, she was worried about her finances, so she gets involved in that wicked thing. And then Ethan's in this, like, if I be everything that she wants, like, look at how this dude looks like a whole ass prince. I take my time. I try my best, then maybe I'll win the queen. That's the vibe. And Ari was in this headspace with this 9 of Wands in reverse. Like, I've been beating a dead horse for how long now? And this guy is giving me everything that I've asked Dalton to give me. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Dalton isn't the one. This guy is giving me everything that I want. But the problem is that's not how relationships work. This guy is appeasing her ego's needs so that she's interested in him, not because it's like, oh my God, I'm really worried about you. I don't feel any of that. It's more like slow and steady wins the race. You know what's giving me the vibe of is the guy that's like always around. It's like the guy that messages you every like 7 to 23 business days. It's like, hey, what's up? Just to like see if there's a chance. I ended up dating one of those guys. I highly recommend not doing that. I was like, he's been messaging me on and off for 7 years. That's normal, right? Y'all, I got stories for days. One day I'll probably dedicate 1 day a week to telling y'all crazy stories about my life or something, because, but anyway, this is when they split up. I would say that they were in a separation at this point. And then Ethan comes in because she's trying to build back her legacy. He's thinking slow and steady wins the race. I'm just going to be your friend. This is, my God, my throat is giving up on me. They were not in talking terms at this point. You're not going to get me to believe that her and Dalton were in talking terms. If they were, it was very short and to the point. And it's probably because they were married. So by law, it was like they had shit to talk about. You know what I mean? But Ethan was like doing the slow and steady wins the race. I can be there for you. That King of Cups is saying everything to me. I'm going to be your hero. Like, that's the vibe. And with that Knight of Pentacles, it's like slow and steady wins the race. So it was like he knew that she wanted to be saved and he wanted to be a savior. And I almost see him, like, I know I've read this before, so I'm not going to get into it too much. You can look at my other readings on this, but I almost see Ethan like yawning and looking at Lily. So it's like, I'm bored with this. And then like this gift from God comes out. And listen, I'm not defending him. I'm simply saying, can you really be shocked? Because a lot of couples have hall passes on celebrities. So he is technically a celebrity. I mean, he's a sponge. So like, I still don't really understand who this dude is, but I'm not big into musicals anymore. So I don't know. There's just something here about, I think Ari did it first, but even then it's not even like, and you know, what's funny is I think they were either separated, but thinking about working it out, or on the verge of separation to end up separating. But there's something here where there's a little bit of moment where she's still dating Dalton, but she's working with Ethan. And I feel Dalton being like, you can't trust this dude. This dude is into you, Ari. This dude wants to be with you, Ari. And Ari just being like, I can't stand how jealous you are. I can't stand how you act like this. And then she runs to Ethan and then she's like, you wouldn't believe he thinks that blah, 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 blah. And then Ethan's like, oh, what? Like, I'm seeing that meme that goes viral where it's like this black and white picture of a man and he's got that shocked face, but you could tell he's not shocked at all. Like, that's the vibe. So I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing the word swindler and I'm seeing Ethan. Ethan snuck in, bro. I don't see, where's Dalton cheating here? I don't see none of that. I don't see any of that. Magician, I can be your hero. I can be anything you want me to be. You tell me who you need, I will be that. This is Ethan again. I think he was trying to, yeah, it's like trying to get her out of her rut, trying to, you know what it's reminding me of? I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Hitch, but he like pulls this move on this girl who's surrounded by dudes. And he was like, well, how else was I going to get to talk to you? So I feel like Ethan was on a play. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like, I'm going to play for the long game. I don't care that there's other people after you. I'm going to show you why I'm the one. I feel like she vented to Ethan about how everything wrong with Dalton. Like, oh, Dalton doesn't want to be at my things. Well, I would gladly be there and hold your purse. Oh, Dalton doesn't communicate his feelings. I love communicating my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of that vibe. It's like, oh, you deserve better. But it's like, I'm trying to slide in. That's the vibe. I think he also allegedly, for entertainment purposes, only no facts here, I think that he kind of pushed Ari out of the relationship. I think that he had conversations with her where he was like, look, like, you don't deserve this. You deserve a man that's going to cater to you. Yeah, I'm hearing cater to you. Who sings that? Is it Beyonce? Baby, you blow me away. I think it's Beyonce. But it's like, yeah, if you left him, like, I could be your hero, like, blah, blah, blah. No, I think Ethan got into Ari's head, and then Ari was like, oh shit, like, I deserve better. I deserve a man that's going to tell me everything that I want to hear, but it's never going to be what I want. So karma kind of bit her in the ass, but I'm not seeing anything about Dalton cheating. I'm not. Tension between two people, Ace of Cups, a love offering, and a lot of communication over the phone. Her and Ethan. Separation. Okay. So see, remember how I was saying it feels like a gray area? That Eight of Cups felt like a separation of some sort. So I feel like they were rocky, damn near over. And then Ari started venting to Ethan. Ethan was everything that she needed to hear. Dalton called it out. She got more pissed, probably pulled away even more. Then she vented that same story to Ethan. And then Ethan was like, oh my God, that's so blah, blah, blah. Like I could see the conversations happening and him being like, oh yes, like this is my ticket in. And then I feel like that was the breakup, because what I'm seeing is like texting and emotions and connection. And I just feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, he is everything you want. He is everything you need. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you and you don't know why. I don't feel like she originally liked Ethan, and I'm not convinced that she does like Ethan. Not to that extent. I feel like she doesn't know what she likes because she projects it on whoever's in front of her and whoever has the best words. That's the vibe. So this is the breakup. Wish fulfillment. Out of my comfort. Why? Oh. Yeah, the cheating was on Ari's side. That's freaking Lily. She's a Virgo. Wish fulfillment would be Ethan and Ari. This is a separation. So this is when they broke up, Dalton and Ari. Wish fulfillment, I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm trying something new. That would be Ari and Ethan. And then here's Lily getting cheated on. She finds out very quickly. We already know this. This is already out there. And now that relationship's over. We accept our losses and we move on. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about cheating. If anything, I think there was a blurred line. Yeah, I'm hearing Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. I think there was a blurred line with Ari and Ethan. But I think this whole thing was going on in a gray area where they hadn't fully decided. You know what it's giving me the vibe of? It's like we know we need to break up, but we don't want to break up, but we aren't communicating, so we're not understanding each other. Honestly, I get this because I've been in something similar, at least the end-wise, where it's like, you don't understand me anymore, and I could try to communicate all day, but you're not getting what I'm saying. Like, that's the vibe. Both of them were kind of unintentionally dedicated to misunderstanding the other, and that was the demise of their relationship. What's the back deck? Yeah, embarrassment. You know what's funny? And I'm going to look into that itself. But this feels like, with the Judgment card in reverse and the Justice card and the Six of Cups, I feel like Dalton thinks that Ari got her justice. Because I almost see him, like, remember at one reading, I'll try to link them. If I don't, just look up my name and Ariana Grande. You'll find I've done like 5 of these. But it's giving me the vibe of like the past coming back to bite you in the ass because everything you want never actually happens because it's built on a facade. So it's kind of giving me the vibe of like, ooh, that's embarrassing. Like, I think he's seeing the demise of Ari going down for being a homewrecker, and he's like, well, isn't that the what is it, Spirit? Isn't that the consequences of your own actions? Thank you. Yeah. So there's a 3. Okay. So what's that got to do with Ace of Wands? Okay. So I do think he started hooking up with that other chick as like a revenge thing to Ari, whoever that chick was. I think she's an actress or something. But again, with that Ace of Wands so loudly, I feel like it's just sexual. She didn't even come up in my prior reading. So I don't buy that they're just like in love. If anything, like I said before, the best way, even though I don't agree with it, best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. I think Dalton kind of did the same thing. I think originally when it's like, I knew that guy was into you, now you're dating that guy and like I'm falling apart because of it. And then it's like, well, I'm going to date this hot supermodel and that should make me feel better. So I think that's where Dalton was coming from. But I pulled this so many times. I have yet to see that he's cheating. So let's look into why Ari, well, you'll know why. You'll see what I've posted. All right. So as always, if you guys enjoyed these readings, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. And don't forget to comment in the comments below. Any gaps you could fill in for me, because y'all know I don't know shit. But yeah, let's take a look at why Ari told people to leave Dalton alone. Okay, well, she definitely wanted to make people leave him alone, so that's true. Well, that's not shocking. That's not shocking at all. This was, I did not expect this. Hold on. Shut the fuck up. This is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. There are 0 facts here. I need to pause this. I gotta laugh. Oh my God, y'all. If I haven't said it in enough readings, I don't know what's going to take for y'all to believe me. I don't buy that Ari doesn't bring Ethan in public just because of the home-wrecking allegations. She does not like him. I really expected this to be like my, my agents told me to do this so that I wouldn't get in trouble because of like contracts and prenups and all that shit. But actually... This was her move as like a peace offering to Dalton because she's not happy with Ethan. Ethan's a Gemini. That's him. That's the Knight of Swords. And this is her. And she's in the reverse. And 2 of Pentacles in between them is juggling like, I'm hearing the song, Can We Just Talk Before We Get Lost? I feel like she feels, because she's not allowed, my throat is so bad in this reading, y'all. I'm so sorry. But because she's not allowed to talk to Dalton, this was her way of like, what I'm seeing is like waving the white flag, you know, like throwing, just trying to create hope again. Like that's the vibe. That Page of Pentacles is like, let me throw something. Honestly, is it possible that the cheating stuff might not have been about him? Could it have been about a different ex? Because I don't know. Hold on. Before I get into that, let me just keep getting into this. Why, Spirit, did she put out that release? Oh my God, because she knew she was wrong. You know what I'm hearing? There's this quote that I used to use all the time because I used to date people that didn't love me, and yeah, good times. But there's this quote in the movie The Holiday, highly recommended if you're going through a breakup. It's on Netflix, great movie. But the guy is like, why do I always go for people knowing they're so wrong for me? And then the girl, I almost have this verbatim, hold on. Because you're hoping you're wrong. And every time she does something that tells you she's no good, you ignore it. And every time she comes through and surprises you, she wins you over and you lose that argument with yourself that she is not the one for you. This feels like a whole circle moment of like, love Dalton, relationship went to shit, ran to Ethan, relationship's now going to shit. Oh fuck, did I fuck up a good thing? That's the vibe of this. The third party's Dalton. With this 3 of Wands and then being stuck and then 3 of Pentacles, things aren't working out for me. And then it's also like I feel like she's trying to I think when she originally made this music, I think she was in a different headspace. She was more angry towards Dalton. So I feel like there's kind of some jabs to like get people to think that he's the bad guy because again, she's got a very diluted sense of reality. I'm not saying in general, but at least with relationships. That quote, by the way, oh my God, that woke me up. But I think her fantasy that she's projected on Ethan, like I've seen in multiple readings, has already fallen off. It's just more now not to look stupid. Like I see her like trying to fix her hair, fix her makeup, fix her clothes. It's giving me the idea of like, I need to look perfect because everything inside's not perfect. Yeah, I'm seeing that SpongeBob episode, that meme where like, I think it's Patrick that's like trying to look good and then he's got like clips behind his back. Or is it Simpsons? I don't remember. The point is like she's faking it. That's the point. But why did she put this out? Self-sabotage. You know what this reminds me of? Girls, I'm one of them, so don't get offended. But you know how girls like get really emotional and then they like act out and then they'll come down and then they're like, oh shit, like I was a little too in my feelings and a little less without logic. I feel like she felt like I kind of self-sabotage. I think she didn't realize that she was going to get heat from people being like, you're full of shit, you're the homewrecker, we're not going to ignore that. And on top of that, it was like by the time the album dropped, she already started to feel like Ethan's not my savior and maybe I fucked up a good thing with Dalton. So it's like, oh shit, the thing that I was trying to grow is the very thing that now I wouldn't mind if it was destroyed. Like that's kind of the vibe. So I think this was a regret. I think it was like I wrote music like this in the heat of the moment because I was upset. But by the time it got out, so much more shit had happened. Things between me and Ethan aren't as beautiful as they used to be. And now it's like, did I fuck up? Like that is the vibe of this. The vibe of her doing the apology is, did I fuck up a good thing? That's what that is. Yeah, apathetic. I'm not happy anymore. I want to change. I've been chasing money for so long. I want to change. I kind of think that's why she's doing the musical thing. Like, I think that's how it started to happen. Because it's reminded me of, like, Taylor going towards an NFL star. It's kind of giving me the vibe of, like, I'm getting bored. I need new stuff. I need new inspiration. But it's also, like, everything in the name of money, right? And I think she's starting to realize, to an extent anyway, that money's not always going to bring her happiness. It's kind of, her and Taylor Swift parallel so much. It's like they're learning the same lessons at the same time. Are they actually friends? Because they would, that could go either way. Maybe not. Oh, look at that. 3 of Cups. Tower. Yeah, I think now she's more in a headspace where it's like, it's already over. I don't want to reopen the wound. Yeah, this just gives me like, you know how like, they're showing me things that like I've done, girls have done. You ever like, remember, I did drink 4.5 years ago. You ever like get super drunk and you're all in your emotions, and then you write something on Facebook, some dramatic ass post, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, well, that's fucking embarrassing, and then you delete it. That's how I would describe this music from Ari's perspective. It's kind of like, oh fuck, like, you know, like, yeah, because I'm hearing Taylor Swift, that song, It's Me, Hi, I'm the Problem, It's Me. I don't think Ari's starting to realize that she's the problem. I think she's starting to realize that, like, I don't want the heat because I'm not that mad anymore. It already fell apart. I'm already sad about it. Why cause more problems? Like, I can barely hold on to my life anyway. I don't need the extra nonsense. And frankly, if I had a choice, I'd be talking to Dalton again. Like, that's the fucking vibe. I think she was also afraid of, I think she has this weird feeling that, like, did she believe that he was a twin flame or something? Because this is why I have an issue with that title. I feel like she thinks that eventually they might get back together. So it's kind of like, you know how, like, Taylor Swift writes all these mean songs about men, but then, like, she still kind of wants to be with some of them when I read them, at least. I don't know if it's ever been talked about in the tabloids. It's kind of that same vibe. It's like, what if? You know what I mean? I can't give you an actual offer, and I've been healing from my pain, but what if? And if there was a chance, why would I fuck that up now? That's kind of the vibe. I knew it. Yeah, let me be vulnerable. I think she's starting to realize she threw away a good one. I don't need to cause you any more pain. You know what I'm seeing is like someone that just got beat up on the ground, and it's like, I don't need to hit you anymore. You already lost. Like, that's kind of the vibe from Ari's perspective. It's like, I already did enough damage. You're on the ground. You're KO'd. Why would I kick you when you're down? Like, that's kind of the vibe. So I do feel, You know, again, I'm not emotionally invested in any of these people. People are just people. No one's good. No one's bad. We're all a complexity of human emotions. But I do think Ari's starting to have some actual genuine regret and remorse. So even though the songs that she's doing, I think at the time she was angry, but now she's had more time to reflect. So it's like, I still want this music to go out because I want people to understand my perception of reality. But I also think that she wants the door to be open with Dalton. I think this is ego versus ego. And I've been saying that. I think if she ever were to try and get him back, it'd be too late. Yeah, I'm hearing the song's too late to apologize, as I said that. But I think both of them in the beginning, I see two people in front of like fences, and it's like they're both looking over the fences, seeing who's going to come over first. And it's like neither of them are budging. That's the vibe. So yeah, so that's why she put that out, that statement out. Yeah, out of my comfort zone. I think, again, I also think that she still feels attached to him. She also was worried about the negative commentary that people were going to say. She doesn't feel like it's fully over. So it's like, even though I was sad, it's giving me the vibe of like my diary got out and it's like, oh shit. Like that's the vibe. It's like, I didn't, because I'm hearing the song. I didn't mean it when I said I didn't love you. So I think, again, she was triggered when she wrote that music and inspired. So whatever, if it's a banger, it's a banger. But I think she now is like, oh shit, what have I done? Like that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, it's like, you know what? I'm hearing the song Don't You Forget About Me. And I feel like I think that's kind of what she does too, where it's like, if I can't have you, at least I can get your attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I fuck up a good thing, at least like you can have me living in your head rent free because I'm writing songs about you and I'm always in the paparazzi and the media and you're always seeing me. So because I'm hearing a song, I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. So it's like, yeah, what's that song? I think it's Beyonce or something where it's like, I'm on your TV now or something like that. I don't remember. But it's like, she's trying really hard to make sure that the narrative stays good with her. The narrative stays good so that she can have a door open for Dalton. But also with this, that's Dalton at the back of the deck. He just wants to start over. Look at how his head's turned to the side. It's like, no, thank you. Like, I think he's the definition of thank you next. I think he's so sick and tired. I think that Ari unintentionally proved everything that Dalton was complaining about. It's like, I'm having issues with this relationship for A, B, C, D, and E. And then throughout this point of time since they've broken up, she has done A, B, C, D, and E. Like, nail in the coffin for Dalton. It's over. I see you. Everything I was worried about is everything you became. Why would I go back? I don't buy that Dalton would take her back. I think that he loved her. Obviously, we're not going to deny that. But I feel like he knows that love isn't enough. You know, love isn't enough. I don't know who else needs to hear that. Love is not enough. If someone's not treating you well, but you love them, it's not enough. If you can't speak your truth, it's not enough. If they can't compromise with you, it's not enough. And I feel like Dalton was more evolved, so he got that. Yeah, pride got the best of them. They were both sad. They didn't want to leave each other. But she wrote some bangers and she felt bad. And I just keep hearing in my mind, like, a page out of Selena's book. I think Ari admires how Selena is so kind and how Selena doesn't want to cause harm. And I think that, because I'm being drawn to how Selena could have just kept her mouth shut, but instead she was like, y'all, leave Haley alone. Like, I'm not a mean girl. I think Ari's trying to prove that she's not a mean girl too. Because I'm also seeing like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and how Amber, you could tell, even though it was super toxic, it was a trauma bond because she was in love with Johnny Depp. So I feel like Ari's trying to learn from others how to, I don't know how to word this. She's trying to take a page out of Selena's book on how to be a good person, basically. Because I wouldn't say that Ari's a bad person. She didn't have the proper role models around her to teach her what healthy love looks like, what healthy communication is, a balance between work and valuing the little things in life. This is celebrity culture. It's not shocking. I get this with 99% of the celebrities I read. But let's finish it off, shall we? All right, so let's finish this off with how Dalton felt about the songs, about the cheating allegations, whatever. Let's see where he's coming from. And again, as always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Thank you to everybody that likes my videos and comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. I would love to have you here. All right, how did Dalton feel? You know what I'm hearing is I see your true colors. And the Queen of Swords in reverse is someone that talks a lot of shit. And then the Ten of Pentacles is a foundation. It's money. It's stability. He's unstuck and he's looking at Ari now like, that's really all you care about. You are not who I thought you were. Like, that's the vibe. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, if you are what you say you are, then have no fear. I think he's looking at her like, this is everything I told you was going to happen. Like, it's like a gotcha moment. You know what I mean? The guy I was worried about, you end up with. I even told you he was not going to be what you needed, and boom, look what happened. And then, like, you make this CD, people are still seeing you for who you are. Boom, look what happened. Like, I feel like Dalton's just having these moments of, like, isn't that the consequences of your own actions? Like, that's the vibe. That's so weird. I heard a song from like my youth where it's like, give it away now. I think he's just like, you know what's funny? It's like, I think for him, it's like the karma is you lost me. That's his vibe. It's like, I see who you are now. And I don't agree that this is necessarily who Ari is, right? Like I said, we are all the accumulation of a lot of things, and to just try to fit us in a box is where we let ourselves down. But I feel with him, it's like, you're always trying to find a way to turn something into money. You wanted to break us up, you turned it into money. You met your next hero in shining armor, you turn that shit into money. When is love involved when it comes to you, Ari? Because for you, it's always about money and growth and opportunity. When is it actually about love? Because when I tried to make things work with you, you were so quick to shut down or shut me off or project onto me. Like, the hangman speaks so loudly of like, I can see clearly now. That's the vibe. It's like, I see you for who you are. I think he's got the ick from Ari now. I cannot see him taking her back if that were to ever be like, and I think that's why intuitively she knows not to try, which is probably why she did that like white flag move of like, hey, don't talk shit to him. But I just think he's done. He's so past done. I mean, imagine getting your heart broken and then your wife, who's not even divorced from you yet, is dating the guy that you were worried about to begin with. Like, that's going to take a toll on you. In fact, like, I think he might be emotionally avoidant for a little while because of this. This probably scarred him. I don't see him being bad. I think that he's very loyal. I think if anything, he's probably like a stage 5 clinger, but Ari's a stage 5 clinger. They're just clingers in different ways. Like, Dalton wants your time. Ari wants your words. And you need to make her feel less insecure all the time. Whereas Dalton's like, I just want to spend time with you. I want to love you. I think his love language is like time, acts of service, touch. Whereas hers is definitely words of affirmation, for sure. So like I said, they had a very strong communication barrier to begin with. But with him, it's like, all you see everything as is an opportunity to grow something in your business. I think he's done. He's checked out. Yeah, 2 of Pentacles in reverse. No thanks. He thinks she's a bitch. I'm not going to lie. I think that he thinks he's a bitch. She's a bitch. But that Queen of Wands in reverse is like, there's nothing to think about anymore. I see who you are. Like, I think he's kind of disgusted by how she's moved since the breakup. Yeah. You know what I'm hearing is a song, I'm too good to you. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand it. I don't know how to talk to you. Literally, their communication style is completely different. I think he's dead set on just running the fuck away from her. I feel like this is, for him, it's like, I'm never going to do this again. If anything, I think he's going to be scarred. And whoever he tries to date, again, I don't feel like, if he's still with that model actress chick, I don't buy that that's going to be a forever thing. It feels like a sex thing. But when he's ready to take on a real relationship, I think he's going to use Ari as like what not to do. So it's going to be like, how much do you care about your career? Are you obsessed with your career? Nope, red flag. Like, that's the vibe. It's like Ari's kind of like the paper framework of like what not to do when he decides to actually put his heart out on the line again. But it definitely pushed him back a little bit because like now he's a knight and he's reversed. So it's like, I feel reckless. I feel aggressive. I feel like I want to do dumb shit. Like, that's the vibe. So he is hurt, but it's more like a pissed off hurt because it's just so very, I told you so. And then here's Ethan. And look how he's looking directly at Ethan. I also feel like he's like, that's not a boy's boy move. You know what I mean? Because like I almost see Dalton, like I think he might have like a solid friend group or something, probably boys. Because it's giving me like, you're not a guy's guy. Because you know how we're all like, Ari's not a girl's girl. I feel like that's how Dalton feels about Ethan. Like, I knew it. You're a little simp. Like, that's what I'm hearing. You're a little simp. You're a little bitch. Like, that's how Dalton feels. Honestly, I think Dalton would want to take Ethan to the back of a bar and show him who's boss, if you know what I mean. I don't mean that in a sexual way. That sounded wrong. I was just seeing a scene from Arrow where they get into a fist fight. So I do think that he wants to whoop Ethan's ass. But that being said, I think he's just angry and it's the stages of grief. So that's good. That means he's probably out of the sad one. I think he teeters back and forth, but he's got anger toward, look at how he's not even looking at Ari. I'm not looking at her, and I'm focused on this motherfucker, this simpleton over here. Like, that's the vibe. I think he's not yet over it. Yeah, I'm hearing song Not Over You. But that also, love isn't enough. Like, that's what I keep hearing. Love is not enough. You can love somebody. Yeah. Oh my God, I just heard Martine McBride. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reasons. And in a moment, they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. Like, that's the vibe. It's like, I know that I still love you. I know that I'm not over this. I know that it's over. But also, I get to watch your life fall apart. So, you know, like, it's kind of that, like, yeah, well, oh well. I would describe Dalton's energy as, well, isn't this the consequences of your own actions? Like, that's the vibe. I think he does have moments where he's like, was I wrong? Like, maybe I should have tried a little bit harder. Maybe I should have been more open to being in the spotlight, but that's not who I am. And that's something that stressed me out because I didn't want to do it. So I think he's going back and forth of like, was I the selfish one? I think he gaslights himself from time to time because it's like, I think their fights at the end was so like chaotic, destructive, emotional that it's like, you ever have those bad breakups or like a situationship and then everything falls apart and you're just stuck for months and you're like, why am I hung up on them? But it's like, there wasn't really any closure. You didn't really have any come to Jesus moment where you're like, okay, this is why this ended. Okay, this is why we're done. Okay, goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot was left unsaid between the two of them. And I feel like that weighs on both of them. Yeah, then there's Ethan. And I just see him being like, I knew you were going to do this. Because that's Ethan. This is work. It's like, I knew that I couldn't trust you when you went to work. I knew this was going to happen. But the problem is, like, I think, and I'm not blaming him at all because free will, but here's the thing. When we have a belief, like, for instance, if we're always like, oh, all I attract is cheaters, you're kind of setting yourself up to attract a cheater because you keep putting it into the universe that that's all you attract. Well, he kept saying, I know you're going to cheat on me, or I know you're going to hook up with this guy. And because Ari was so annoyed with it, it ended up being the very thing she did. You know what I'm saying? So be careful how you say things. Be careful, you know? If you're going through some struggles, just be like, this too shall pass. I know that's hard. Like, vent when you need to, but don't stay stuck in that mentality because then you'll always have a bunch of what ifs. Yep. Their relationship together, I saw it coming. That's the vibe. Anything else? There she is. Yeah, I think when he looks back at her, it's more pain than it is happiness. So it's like, even though I can't get over you, that doesn't mean I should be with you. Like, I think he does have moments too with that Ace of Swords where it's like, I do miss her. I do wish we could talk, but she threw away everything that we had. I wanted to fix this, but everything was always conflict. Everything was always problematic. All of the memories from the past with that Six of Cups in the reverse, negative, just fights, always, never understanding me. So as much as I love you, or did love you, depending on where he's at now, it's not enough. Because look at all the shit I'd have to put up with if I wanted to even try to make this work again. It's like what I'm seeing is like a pros and cons list. It's like the pro list and it says Ariana. And then the cons list is like a CVS receipt. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's done. I don't ever see him giving her a chance. I think it's like, it's when someone does you dirty. Like, it's unforgivable. Like, that's where he's at. I can't forgive you. And listen, I know unevolved traits of Leos because I am one, but sometimes it's funny when they're petty. He's just so happy about the karma that's in her life right now. Because that's Lily. That's the child, but it's also communication, having to deal with the destruction that you caused that didn't have to happen. So it's like, now you're on the defense. Here it is. You thought you had love. Now you're dealing with a baby mama. You're dealing with a baby. You have to deal with your man communicating with them. You were trying to make this work and make this your thing for so long. And now look at you. Like, it's kind of like, I see you struggling. I'm not stupid. I know you better than anyone. We've spent like 4 years in quarantine or however long they were together. I know you. I know when you're happy. And I can see how you're vulnerable right now. But at the end of the day, haha. Now you got a baby mama drama. Now you're dealing with being a stepmom. Is your wish fulfillment really all that it was cracked up to be? Because why does it feel like you're trying to hold on for dear life and you have to be defensive and now your fans see you for who you are? I just see Dalton like this. Like, that's the vibe. Yes! Oh my God, I'm so glad I looked over. That is Dalton's energy. Clear as day. Dalton's energy. Old me is dead and gone. Yep, old me is dead and gone. Isn't the consequences of your own actions. All these career opportunities you wanted so bad killed everything that really mattered to you. That's your karma. That's the vibe. Dalton's petty, but in a good way, because it's not like he's going after her and he's just kind of feeling his feelings, which we all need to do. So good for him. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because that was longer than I expected it to be. That's what she said. But as always, if you guys want, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, same links down below, as well as my email address, just to let you guys know I'm booked out a week and a half to 2 weeks. So the sooner you reach out, the sooner I can get you in. Thank you to everybody that likes my videos. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you here. Thank you to my regulars. Thank you, besties, for always watching and always supporting. I appreciate y'all so much. And always remember to vote in the community post for the future videos. And I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you again for watching.
The comic